Hello everybody and welcome back to the Ghost Glider. I am Matt. So today I'm going to be reviewing another TV show, Ironheart to be exact. This video is supposed to come out a while ago, but I've had a lot of slip-ups. The last time I actually recorded this, I was a little emotional, and I don't mean like I was crying or anything like that. I mean like my emotions were everywhere. I was yelling for no reason at all, and yeah. But today we are officially back, and I'm giving my honest review off of Ironheart. So, just like always, I'm going to do the non-spoiler version first, and then I will be doing my spoiler version afterwards. Okay, so for anybody who wants to watch Ironheart, you need to watch it on Disney+. That's the only place where you can find it, and I highly recommend it. The first episode, it caught me, but the first, 5 minutes didn't. It took a second for me to start liking it during the first episode. Once the flashbacks were done, that's when I started to watch it, actually enjoy it, because it starts off with flashbacks, and I loved the flashbacks. I just didn't like how they did it, periodically through the show the flashbacks do show up again, and it made more sense. But starting off like that, I don't know why, I just did not like it. Could just be a personal preference. That it was probably a good hook for other people, but just not me. But other than that, the show was phenomenal. There was, of course, brain rot used. I guess really sus isn't brain rot, but I see it as brain rot because it's one of those words I was like, I think I cringe. But they used they used words like sus and stuff like that also just, I felt a little cringeworthy, but the rest of it was not bad. I actually thought this was going to be another She-Hulk incident where they're trying to, I guess, woken the show, and I don't like to say that a lot. I don't see a lot of things woking anything. The only thing that I found out about any superhero thing was She-Hulk, because that was absolute dog water, and I feel like most of any continuity can agree on that. But I thought this was going to be another She-Hulk incident, but it was not. They are cooking good. There were a lot of cameos. Shuri shows up for a millisecond from Wakanda. It is a direct sequel from Wakanda Forever, the Black Panther sequel. The main villain is technically the Hood, but at the same time, it's not. Also, they did mention Tony Stark a lot. There's a huge thing that I keep seeing, that people are hating the show because one of the first opening lines was, if Tony Stark never had his money, he wouldn't be who he is today. But I agree with the people arguing about this, because Tony Stark, no matter what, whether he's broke or not, he is one of the smartest people in his universe. Mr. Reed Richards is pretty close, but that's about it. He might be smarter than Doctor Doom, which is why he is probably a Doctor Doom variant. He is Victor Von Doom, though. Our Doctor Doom is Victor Von Doom. Riri also doesn't, or the main character, Riri Williams is the main character. She doesn't have the same experience as us, the viewers. So she doesn't know that Iron Man made his suit in a cave with a box of scraps. All that she knows is that he's a rich playboy billionaire who makes suits and flies around in those suits. She doesn't know that the hardships he's gone through. So I'm not totally against all the people hating on her, but I'm also not for it either, because again, she doesn't know what the viewers know. But again, I really enjoyed the show. It was cool. It set up a lot of things, like Ghost Rider. If you know who that is, he's one of my favorite Marvel characters. I say this a lot. Bucky Barnes is probably my favorite Marvel character, but Ghost Rider is pretty close up there. I loved the Nicolas Cage movies, something that a lot of people don't like, actually. Marvel, hire me. I can be your next Johnny Cage. They kind of set it up, and I'll explain that in the spoiler version. It'll be one of the first things you'll hear, so you don't need to hear any other spoilers if that's the only thing you want to hear. Yeah, it was a great show. I really do recommend it. 9 out of 10. It's on Disney+, and it's pretty cool. Now for the spoiler review. This show, I could not really give a decent non-spoiler review without spoiling anything, so here we are. I did say that I was going to talk about Ghost Rider first. So in Ghost Rider's backstory, something happens to him, and somebody close to him is dying or is getting close to dying, and he ends up selling his soul to either A, the devil, or B, Mephisto, who is kind of the MCU's devil. He's a demonic being who makes deals. So Ghost Rider ends up selling his soul to either the devil or Mephisto, usually Mephisto, and he becomes the spirit of vengeance, doing Mephisto's needs in order for his loved one to stay alive, or for him to stay alive, or whoever he made the deal for. It depends on the different continuities. And this is really, I'm going based off of Johnny Cage, of course. There was the other one, I think Robbie Reyes was his name. He's another good one. He's from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Or Godzilla. Godzilla was the spirit of vengeance for a comic book. I love that. But anybody can really be the spirit of vengeance as long as Mephisto makes them that. Ghost Rider can officially happen because Mephisto is in the MCU. Mephisto turned out to be the biggest baddie of them all, showing up in the finale. Played by Sacha Baron Cohen, I think his name is. You probably know him as King Julian. I don't remember his full name, but you probably know him as King Julian, or if you've seen the very, very inappropriate, hilarious movie Borat, he also plays Borat. Or if you've seen the Ricky Bobby, he plays the French racer racing against Ricky Bobby. If you guys haven't seen any of those three movies, whether it's Madagascar, Ricky Bobby, or Borat, you are missing out. Madagascar? You have not seen Madagascar. I like to move it, move it. You've not seen that. Come on, you've had to. And then Ricky Bobby, Shake and Bake, all that crap. Or Borat, very nice. Pretty much the show starts off with Riri Williams getting kicked out of school, and she ends up being hired by the Hood to do heists. So a few episodes go by, she's in the crew, but she's starting to kind of question it, and specifically the Hood, because he has a cloak, or a hood, that gives him kind of demonic powers, and she wants to figure that out. So during one of the heists, she does that. She ejects herself from her suit, which she actually has an AI that is of her dead best friend without her knowing. Like, she accidentally made her AI, her Jarvis, her dead best friend Natalie. And she hates it at first, but she ends up loving it. So during one of the heists, she ejects herself. She has the AI control of the suit, and she goes and gets a little piece of the hood. And everything goes wrong, and she ends up accidentally killing one of the members who was like a cousin to the Hood. His name was Johnny. I want to get to that in a second. But she ends up killing him. The Hood kind of realizes this like really, really early on, and Mephisto kind of gives him hints. It's kind of easy to tell that Mephisto gave him hints, especially now that you know that it was Mephisto. The Hood made a deal with the devil because he wanted to be known for something. And so he made a deal with the devil, and Mephisto gave him the cloak to help him on that journey. Another person that shows up in Riri Williams' life is a guy named Joe, or Zeke Stane. If you guys don't know who that is, Obadiah Stane, the very first Marvel villain, or MCU villain out there. In Iron Man 1, he was the CFO or the co-founder, I don't remember. He was best friends with Howard Stark, and he became the mentor to Tony until Tony found out that he had him kidnapped and tried to murder him on multiple occasions. Obadiah Stane is the Ironmonger, and he ended up getting killed by Tony on accident, actually. He technically killed himself, but but his son, Zeke Stane, wanted nothing to do with it, and he just wanted to make technology to help people. And that's kind of what he did, and he ended up becoming like a full-on cyborg kind of person, and the Hood saw that and kind of used that and kind of hacked his way into his body to control him. Riri Williams, of course, does help Zeke in the end, and they were friends, and they weren't friends, and they were friends again, and it was cool. However, in order to officially stop the Hood, she needs to use magic and demonic power. The only downside to that was Natalie, her AI, was deleted, and it was way too late before they could stop the demonic power from going into her suit, so her AI got deleted. She did end up defeating the Hood, literally destroying his cloak. The Hood ends up fleeing, and when she walks out, Mephisto's there. Mephisto, of course, being the guy that he is, he tries to make a deal, saying, I can give you Natalie back. However, you work for me now. And she shook his hands. I really didn't see Riri Williams as a hero in this because she was more selfish. She cared more about her suit than anything. So I really see Riri as an anti-hero. But still, the main character who's supposed to be like a hero made a deal with the devil. And I don't know if it was a few days or a few months or what it was. She was in her shop one day, and Natalie shows up. And she says, run a diagnostic. And it was the real Natalie, resurrected from the dead. Yeah. And then the show ended. Again, this show wasn't that bad. I really enjoyed it. It was just that opening scene with flashbacks, because Riri Williams has PTSD because she has moments where her friend Natalie and her stepdad were killed in a drive-by, and she witnessed it. So she has PTSD from that moment, and the show starts off with, like, I guess, a PTSD panic attack. That's how I saw it, at least, where she was looking at a phone of a memory. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't like how that started. The PTSD attacks throughout the show, that was reasonable. How it started off, I don't really see it that way. And then of course the few moments where she said sus, or it just felt like brain rot. You're trying too hard, Marvel. Go back to the old ways. Don't feed into the brain rot. But I just cringed. I just cringe whenever somebody says sus. I'm sorry. Ghost Rider could happen now that Mephisto is officially in the show. And something about Johnny. So Parker, also known as the Hood, had kind of like a cousin figure named Johnny, and this was the guy that Riri accidentally killed. Johnny, a lot of things that I see is that people think this Johnny character is going to become Johnny Cage, and is going to become the Ghost Rider. I don't think that, because one, this character is way too big of a douchebag. Yes, Johnny Cage is known to be a douchebag in the past, and in some continuities, but this Johnny Cage was just too big of a douchebag. I just don't see this character as him. And on top of that, he was more of a knife guy. Johnny Cage is a stunt rider. He does stunts on a stunt bike and all that crap. So this guy was just 100% a follower to the big man, or just a second in command to Parker. Johnny Cage has never been. He's always been a lone rider, somebody who works alone usually. So I just don't think that that's Johnny Cage. Sorry, that's my personal opinion. But yeah, all in all, the TV show was a good TV show. 9 out of 10. Of course, those few things like the brain rot and how it started, I just threw me off. But other than that, it sets up a lot, and I can't wait for the future of this show, or Ironheart as a whole. And I really do think that after the multiversal saga is done, and Doomsday and Secret Wars is done, we're going to have our own magic and mystic, or Midnight Suns kind of situation. I would love to see that, having Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, Punisher, just the Midnight Suns officially show up. They did they are kind of setting it up with Mephisto, Moon Knight, and what could possibly be Ghost Rider in the future. Again, Kevin Feige, hire me. I would love to play a very young, just like a very young Johnny Cage that just now becomes the Ghost Rider. I'd love that. But if not, James Gunn, somebody hire me to do a superhero movie, please. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm so sorry that I've been gone for so long. I've just been, I did say yes in yesterday's short I was going to explain it, so here's a short explanation. I've been working on things, and I've also been just feeling really lazy recently. I'm so sorry about that. I promise I'll get back to the schedule soon. It's not going to be 100% great because I'm going on vacation next week, but when I get back from vacation, everything should go back to normal. Got it? All right, thank you guys again, and I'll see you guys later in tomorrow's daily video, or if I go live later, whatever happens, I'll see you guys then. All right, peace out.